What's up, guys? It's the Garage Goons show, baby. It's the most trash show on YouTube. Tonight, I'm going to talk about UFC 264, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor. You also had some really good fights. It was actually a really entertaining card overall. Um, Basically, I'm just going to talk about, is Conor done? Um, this is the guy that's been at the top of the food chain, champ, 155 and 145 divisions. And he's received two bad losses in a row. And I know Connor fanboys are saying, well, it's not his fault. It wasn't really a fair fight. We didn't really get to see who would have won. Like, I get it, bro. Injuries are a part of the sport. And the unique thing about combat sports, right, is there's it's basically hit without getting hit, no duh, right? But also on top of that, you have to take it into consideration that part of being the sport that's not coachable, part of being successful that's not something that is a learned skill. It's something that you can work on, right? Recovery, but is being durable. And a lot of guys, some of the most talented dudes in the world, are not durable. Dominic Cruz, man, how many years has that guy lost from his career just because he kept tearing his ACLs? These things are made out of paper at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, unable to withstand any kind of you know um, kicks and stuff like that to the legs and training. I don't know if this dude's going to heel hook academy or what, but this guy blew more ACLs out than half the roster combined in 1 year, I feel like. And the thing with Connor is I can't say he's not durable, because I've never seen him injured to this extent before. To my knowledge, he's never pulled out of a fight. He's postponed a fight. I know that happened with Nate. But yeah, like I think my takeaway from that fight is, yo, regardless of how you feel about it, it's a TKO. It's a TKO. It's a TKO. It's a TKO, bro. If you went into that fight with a compromised shin, there's no way your shin snaps. And it wasn't the ankle, guys. It was the shin. If you watch back the replay, it's above the ball joint of the ankle. So it's not like a bad roll. It's not like a bad, like he just sprained his ankle real bad and it snapped. No, it was the shin. The shin broke. The tibia and fibia are two of the strongest bones in your body. It's not just going to snap in half just because you like put pressure on it a weird way. It's not like an ACL or an MCL. It's not a ligament, dude. It's an actual solid bone. So I didn't see. I try to look back and try to see what happened with the checks and the kicks because I know Connor was winging them. He was really just putting all of his his momentum and really turning his kicks over. And honestly, he wasn't really setting them up, which I think is because we saw what happens when Connor gets into a firefight, a brawl, a boxing match. There's an art to brawling, guys. It looks like chaos, but if you've watched enough fights, there are some dudes that are just hard hitters that can stay in the pocket, they close their eyes, bite down on the mouth guard, and swing real hard. And with those 4 ounce gloves, they get lucky often. But there's also guys that thrive in chaos and still work combinations in the pocket. And so they have very effective boxing, but it looks sloppy because it doesn't look like they're controlling distance. Footwork isn't as much of a factor. It's more about putting your combos together, having your head move just enough, being able to keep your chin tucked, and getting out when you get in trouble and pursuing your opponent when you get hit. The thing is, I think Dustin Poirier proved he's a better brawler. Connor's never been a firefight kind of guy. If you think about his knockouts, right? The Jose Aldo, he takes a step back, puts pressure on that back foot, comes forward, boom, over the top, right? Lands flush on the chin. Aldo's punch even grazed him a little bit. It was like a bang bang play, but Connor got there first. He was the bigger, stronger guy and more explosive, I would argue. At 155, man, these guys are savages. These guys can knock people out. The thing about the 155 weight class is you see knockouts in every single weight class, men and women, but for the most part, below the weight class of 155, you don't see one-hitter quitter knockouts. Not that often. It doesn't happen very often. Anybody can go out if they get hit right on the chin, right? Right on the chin, they can get knocked out. But here's the thing, guys. That happens not very often. The perfect shot right to the chin. Usually it's graze. Usually the guy's rolling with it or the girl, whatever. At 155, that is the first weight class where the guys are big and strong enough, I feel like, to land the punch and knock dudes out. And so Conor has relied on his power over the years. And at 145, if he never went up, I don't think he would ever have lost that belt, just being honest. Like, I love Max Holloway. I love Volkanovski. I love all these guys, but I honestly think Conor would have never lost that belt. He was too big. I don't know how he did it, but he was always making weight. And then on top of that, here's the thing, man. Like, he was so tall and big and strong. It's so crazy how much muscle and physique he was able to maintain at 145. At 155, he's literally having to beef up. He can't make 170. He can't. We've seen him fight in the welterweight division several times now, and he's never clocked in at the max weight. You can weigh a pound over unless it's a championship fight. He never weighed 171 for any of his fights. It's always 165, 167, somewhere in there. And that's like him not dieting, him still working hard, obviously, but like just not worrying about a weight cut at all. He's not built for that weight. And a lot of these guys at 155, and I know Dustin came from 145 way back when, but he's a big dude now. That's a big boy. I don't think he left 145 because he felt like it was too unhealthy. I think he literally felt like he wasn't going to be able to make the weight anymore at that weight class because Dustin is big. He's a thick dude. If you look at their waistlines, Dustin's built like a brick, and Conor has like that V-taper look, the more athletic, like classic V-taper look. And so what I'm saying is Dustin, his styles make fights, we know this, is get in your face, apply the pressure. My chin will hold up better than yours, but also I have the skills and the talent to hurt you and pursue, hurt and pursue. Again, part of the game is staying healthy, guys. Like, you can, any way you want to slice it, at some point that shin got compromised. The only thing that is a big question mark is, was it compromised pre-fight? I know Conor's been big on not backing out. You know, back in the day, he called Dos Anjos out on his foot broke or something like that. And so I know he's big on not pulling out of fights. I know that. But here's the thing. Listen, man, you shouldn't have taken that fight if your shin had some hairline fractures or stress fractures that would have eventually led to a potential break. That's just irresponsible, man. You owe it to the fans. You owe it to the people. You owe it to your team. You made too much money at this point to take a fight compromised. And on top of that, Dustin's a better wrestler. I know Conor trains with Dylan Dennis. I know supposedly he's got really good wrestler, really good jiu-jitsu dudes up in his camp. But when he gets on the ground, he's struggled historically. At 145, he was bigger and stronger than all those dudes. So, hey, physics takes over at some point. You can moose your way out of submissions or takedowns if you're the bigger man in the ring. Like, think about this. Your little brother starts playing tackle football, right? And he tackles you, and he tries to hold you down. You can get your ass up off the ground and push him off and say, hey, yeah, damn, I got to take you seriously now. You're getting stronger. If you tackle him and put your chest on him, he's not going anywhere. He's squirming around, yelling for mom, help, no, because you're the bigger, stronger dude. He was doing that at 145. 155 is a different ballgame, man. You're not more athletic. You're not bigger. You're not stronger than these guys out here. And we know this. It was not really a competition at all with Khabib. And I know technically Khabib didn't score a knockdown, but he basically put you on your ass with a punch. And that right there tells you, hey, everyone said, if Conor's going to have a shot in this fight, it's if Khabib decides to box with him. But everyone knew he was going to do what he does, which is basically smother you and take you down on the ground and beat your ass while you're on the ground. I haven't really seen Conor evolve in real time. I'm sure he's gotten better. I'm sure his skills are better. I saw a couple of things with the up kicks, trying to pull guard, try to work subs. I know the guillotine it looked for a second like it was close. But the thing is, when you're a talented wrestler and that's a skill that you haven't had to, let's say, like really catch up to the competition on. Like Poirier's always been a really well-rounded fighter. Like you look at him, you could say, oh, he could do this better, he could do that better, but you've never seen glaring holes in his game. He's always been really good at everything. Conor, we didn't know how good he was at the ground stuff early on because he was just knocking fools out. He's just hitting your head off 3 rows back into, the fucking bleachers. So is Conor done? Well, there's a couple of different things that I foresee. The short answer is no. But is the Conor done? Is the Conor that's every other fight is either fighting for a fake belt, BMF, whatever, or a real belt? Is that guy coming back? I don't think so, man. I honestly don't think so. Listen, the guy's made too much money. Anytime the UFC doesn't want to play ball with him, right? He starts tweeting at these boxers. He starts tweeting at Canelo. He starts tweeting at Floyd, talking his smack. You know what I'm saying? Like calling these fools out. And Dana, at the end of the day, he's lied. He's manipulated. He's gone back on things he said. He's done fighters dirty. But one thing Dana is, and you can't deny it, is a smart businessman. So if he sees $100 million payday with doing a deal with HBO or Showtime or DAZN or any of these other boxing, streaming services, he's going to take it. So I think that there's a potential with Floyd because Floyd's clearly at the point now where he only asks 2 questions. How big is the bag and is it going to be light work? If the bag is big and it's going to be light work, yes, it's a big bag. Yes, it's going to be light work. He takes the fight. He doesn't care. Floyd doesn't care, man. He's always picked his opponents wisely to the demise of some of the critics, to people criticizing him. Oh, you should have fought Canelo later. Oh, you should have fought Pacquiao earlier. You never squared up with Triple G. There's a lot of fights that we could have seen at a better time from him. But say what you want, dude's undefeated. And honestly, I don't think Conor gives a damn if he loses that fight. But in the UFC, I just don't see it. Listen, it's going to be some time off. You're not going to be able to just bounce back from that kind of injury. I mean, Anderson Silva, man, this hurt my soul, dude, when I found out that he popped for performance enhancers because he had never done it his whole career, and then he breaks his leg. And you know what? I don't really blame him for that. He didn't look buff when he came back. He didn't look like his cardio was crazier than ever before. I think that was a dude that said, hey, I'm just trying to get back, dude. I'm just trying to get back. And that's a gnarly injury to come. You're not going to bust your leg in half, like clean in half, and just stick some duct tape and a cast on it and then work out for a while. And that's going to be the same, 6 months later. It doesn't work like that, dude. There's muscle dystrophy. There's the healing of the muscle. There's rods and, screws and all kinds of things that you have to account for. So how much more compromised is that leg going to be? I mean, if he gets kicked in the leg a couple times real hard in that same spot, that's going to be a problem. I remember when Anderson came back, he was not trying to feel any type of kicks on that leg. He was switching a stance all the time. I don't know if you guys remember this, but dude was shooking and jiving, man. He was not trying to feel any of that. He didn't want any of the smoke on the leg kicks. And I don't blame him, man. You just snap that thing in half. Even if it feels fine, you're still going to have this subconscious thing in the back of your head telling you, oh, man, I just don't want to get hit there. I gotta work around that now. It's not something that it's in the back of your mind. The fact that you're thinking about it changes your whole game plan, whether you're conscious of it or not. It changes everything. Conor, I think I see 1 to 2 fights Both these guys are coming off losses. Both of them are big draws. And both of them need some work right now. And I think the one fight everyone wants to see is Nate Diaz Conor 3. We're doing the rubber match thing. Let's stick with the whole theme, man. Nate fans feel cheated because hey, that last fight you guys, it wasn't even a clear-cut decision. If you guys remember, 2 judges scored it in favor of Conor. One had it as a draw. And personally, I scored it as a draw because I had Nate. I want to say I had Nate winning 3 rounds, and I gave Conor the one where he knocked him on his ass like 4 times. Like I gave him a 10-8 round there, so I had it a draw as well. So it was a close fight. People think that Conor dominated because he did have dominant rounds, but overall, man, Nate is a freaking cockroach, man. The later the fight goes, I feel like if the UFC did like something crazy, like a 6 or 7 round fight, or they had rounds that went for like 10 minutes long, Nate would be undefeated, dude. That guy just like his cardio is sick. These guys are freaks, dude. Him and his brother run like marathons and triathlons and all these crazy stuff for fun. That's not even to do cardio to train for fighting. They just do that shit for fun. They do that and smoke weed and fight. That's all they do. So I want to see that. Another thing I want to talk about, UFC 264, Sean O'Malley, man. Sean O'Malley, let's see. What was the dude's name? He fought Chris, the new guy, right? Chris, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. This dude came from some bum-ass promotion. I had never seen any of the logos, any of the branding, nothing. I didn't recognize anything. And I was trying to look in the promo, like, what kind of cage is that? Who's running that? Man, this guy came from some YMCA. We're going to throw, a fence in here and put 2 dudes in there type stuff. This guy came up. Let me look up his name so I don't disrespect the man. Chris Moutinho, bro, 11 days notice, and I have never seen a dude take that kind of damage before. I've never seen it, bro. That dude is an absolute savage and deserves a UFC contract at the least. Think about this, guys. Sean O'Malley's a killer in that division. Say what you want, man, but at 135, that dude is a killer. He's long. Nobody's built like him. He's taller. He could probably fight if he honestly put on some muscle weight. He could probably fight at 155 at some point, like at the end of his career, if he doesn't want to cut as hard as he does. So you consider all that. You consider this Chris Moutinho dude comes in on 11 days notice and fights a top-ranked dude. This is a no-name, keep in mind. He takes punishment, and O'Malley was basically doing whatever he wanted, but Homeboy was in his face the whole time. O'Malley was the one looking at the clock. O'Malley was the one looking like, damn, I don't want to be here after round 2. In that 3rd round, he was like, God, I'm just going to try to get this. This dude is a freaking cockroach. Like, I've never seen somebody take that much punishment and come forward. Homeboy was wearing punches just so he could come forward and swing and try to put on a show. This dude is so admirable, and I gotta say it, man. I gotta say it. Herb Dean, dude. Listen, I'm not mad at stopping the fight. Really. Because you take that kind of punishment, you're just in there getting your ass beat. I know that the whole thing is, are they intelligently defending themselves? But some guys have a style where they just take shots and they can take it. Like Brock Lesnar took crazy damage from Shane Carwin, and they let him ride it out, and he came back. Walt Harris, when he was fighting Overeem, dude, he looked like it was about to be a wrap, but they let Overeem take the shots. He comes back. What happens? Boom. Started that little win streak he has, and now I think Overeem's probably done. So my thing is, bro, as a ref, right? Yes, I get on paper he was taking too much damage. I stopped the fight. Here's the thing, man. What it does to a man, what it says to a man, I'm going to allow you to get your ass beat. O'Malley was landing at over an 80% clip. 80%, that's unheard of. That's better than Machida. It's better than Anderson Silva. It's better than Iggy, John Jones, whoever you want to take. 80% is crazy, bro. That is like, we know what that is. That's 8 out of 10 punches land. Imagine throwing 10 punches, and every time you throw 10, 8 of them land. Whoever is on the other side of those punches, dog, they're not coming back. But this dude, I want to know what this guy eats. I want to know what mattress he sleeps on. Bro, I was killing this guy before the fight started. I was like, bro, this is the Trailer Park Tyrant. This is Highlighter Head. This is, this dude looks like he was on the verge of shooting up a school when he was, 13. Like, I was clowning this dude. But by the end of round 1, I was like, oh, man, let's go, Chris. Forget this stupid purple hair clown. You know what I'm saying? And I think what it says about Sean O'Malley is he's talented, very talented. But I think they may have been moving him up too fast. And I hate when they protect guys. Like when they, for the knock on Conor until he fought Jose Aldo was, yeah, he's got this really great record. He's knocking everybody out. But who has he faced? Dennis Seaver, that's the one name you're going to give me. Dennis Seaver was a fringe top 10 guy when he fought. He was all right. I mean, let me not say that. He was decent, but he wasn't like one of these killers out here. I think that when he lost to Chito Vera and he made the excuse, right, it was really, really, it rubbed me the wrong way. The same way that Conor's trying to say, oh, it's doctor stoppage, it doesn't count. Bro, doctor stoppage is when a medical expert comes in and says you're unfit to fight because of damage you took. That means the other guy did his job. It just happened to be in a weird place. Think about it. If the doctor stopped it for any other injury, think about it. Any other injury. Let's say his arm snaps. Let's say orbital bone or something like that. Or like his nose is like off to the side of his face, right? They stop the fight. Yeah, some fans get, you can't please everyone. The fans are going to be pissed regardless. But you stop the fight, and now you're telling me people are going to say, oh, well, it wasn't fair. He could have kept going, all this stuff, or like that wasn't indicative of, his opponent. Sorry, guys. I don't know how else. Again, your shin bone is strong. I don't know how else it snaps in half. We've all been watching this sport a long time, and we can count on one hand how many times we've seen that happen. It's not a joint. Look at where it broke. That's not something that just, if your leg is going to snap, typically it's going to snap in the middle. Because think about it. When you try to bend or you try to snap stick something, like think about it. You grab a stick, right? You're not going to grab, like here's the stick. You're not going to grab it on one side and try to snap it on the end. No, you're going to grab it on each end, bend it, and snap it. And it's going to break in the middle because that's where the most pressure is. Usually that's where we see it. So how do you explain it snapping so low down on the shin? I'll tell you. It got checked really hard right there. And because it's the harder part of your leg, it's not the middle, it's not as susceptible to snapping as the middle, he was able to get a couple steps out on it before that thing completely gave out. Dustin deserves the credit for the win, and he doesn't owe him a rematch. They fought 3 times, Dustin won twice. The better man at 155 is Dustin Poirier, period. And I love Conor McGregor, man. I just think he needs to, keep talking smack, keep doing your thing, promote yourself. These boxers are still going to come. You're still the biggest name in the game. You still help grow the sport to a multi-billion-dollar business. But, man, listen, you're going to have to start picking fights. Maybe outside the sport. Maybe outside the sport, man, because at this point, your fans don't know how to root for you if you're not fighting for something. Like, this was a revenge fight. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboy fight was a big fan favorite fight. Unless there's some sort of, he's not just going to fight Joe top 5. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy that just, Connor's not going to take a fight with Dan Hooker. He's not. It's not going to happen. Maybe down the line if he talks some crap and gain some clout, but Connor's only interested in the big names that you either have to be the best, talk a big game, or have a crazy fan following. And the thing is, he's not really, it's only skill-wise, he's not in a place to call those guys out anymore. Because this is a what have you done for me lately business. So going back to O'Malley, right? Transitioning back over to O'Malley. I think they moved him up too fast. I think that they should have tried to have him, how do I put this? Have him clear out the guys that are regulars, right? There's like 3 tiers to the UFC. There's the staples, the superstars, the guys that are on, that you'll see 2, 3, 4 times a year. And then there are the regulars, the guys that are on the roster. They're just trying to get fights. They're just trying to get some momentum. They're just trying to stack wins. They're not necessarily worried about being cut every fight, but they're just trying to build their career up, gain sponsorships. They're just the everyday Joes. They're really, let me not say that. They're world-class fighters. They're just not top 10, and they don't have clout. So they're trying to build that. They're trying to build a rapport with the fans and the company. O'Malley should have stayed with those guys for a long time. Because, yes, I know he was knocking people out. He's ferocious and all this stuff. The second he fights a top 10 guy, Chito Vera took his ass out, man. Call it what you want. It was another freak leg injury, which people like making excuses about. But an L is an L, buddy, regardless of how it comes. The only win I've had a problem with recently is the Pantera, not Pantera, excuse me, the Petroyan loss. That was crazy, bro. They should have vacated the belt, in my opinion. It should have been no contest or whatever, but you shouldn't get a belt off of like a DQ like that. That was weird, bro. But I think O'Malley, what do you do with him now? Right? Like, I guess you have him fight for a belt, maybe, after the second Petroyan fight goes on, after TJ Dillashaw gets his shot. But on one hand, we might have seen the most durable freak of all time in his opponent that nobody ever heard of. On the other hand, if you're that good, bro, if this guy's coming from a backyard MMA promotions, dog, you need to finish that guy. If you're big dog on campus, if you're talking like you're the next big thing, that guy should be light work for you. I don't care if you didn't train for him. I don't care if you didn't watch tape. I don't care if you only had 11 days to get ready. That guy needs to be dog food, man. That should be a snack. Easy money, bro. You should be able to. And to his credit, he did do whatever he wanted to him, but he didn't knock him out. Herb stepped in with 23 seconds left. This man took all that damage. He took all the damage of a 3-round fight, but didn't get the privilege of finishing the fight. O'Malley didn't finish him. Herb stepped in. I didn't like that. Listen, if you're going to call the fight, call it off earlier. He was landing at an 87% clip through the second round, man. He only started missing a little bit towards the end. So if you're going to call it earlier. Don't let him take all the damage and save him from 23 seconds of more damage. That's just stupid to me. It's one or the other. Let him finish the fight at that point. If you're going to say, all right, go down on your sword, bro, go down on your sword, but let the man finish the fight. That's all I'm saying. Real quick, I'm going to dip into Gilbert Burns. I don't know what to do with the 170-pound division, bro. It's been an abortion for years. There's no stability there. It's kind of getting. It used to be the deep for dude. We had in the early 2000s when it was Carlos Condit, GSP, Dan Hardy, all these really, Johnny Hendricks, all these really exciting guys. Bro, the 170-pound division was amazing. Amazing. But now, man, Tyron Woodley is getting into Hollywood. You could just see he doesn't really have it the same way he did. Colby Covington, we're trying to hype up that fight, but I've seen Colby was great the first time he fought and hasn't really made too many more fights or done any improvement to his game, while Kamaru Usman used to be an absolute moron when it came to striking, but he is so strong and physically imposing. He was able to will his opponents down to the ground and use ground and pound to win. Now he's like one of the best wrestlers, definitely the best wrestler in 170 right now, but also a really good striker now. Basic. He's not throwing any back spinning, or back fist, whatever. He's not throwing wheel kicks and stuff. He's not doing no Capoeira, Anthony Pettis type stuff, but he's very efficient. When he throws punches and they land, they hurt, and they move guys back or on the canvas. I don't see Colby winning this time. The first time it could have gone either way. He broke his jaw and it kind of went downhill, but this time I just don't see him winning. That's the only fight you can make, because what are you going to do? You're going to throw Burns in there again? Just lost. What are you going to do? You're going to throw Masvidal in there again? Just lost multiple times. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that that division's tough, and they've also murkied the waters because they're talking about Nick Diaz coming back, and Nate hasn't talked about 155 in years, man. So I don't know. There's a lot of guys jumping up and down between 155 and 170 weight classes. I don't know what to do with that. So maybe they can have an Ultimate Fighter season, since they're trying to bring that show back where it's only welterweights, and just get a flood of dudes in UFC from other promotions and whatnot. But dog, I don't see that division being very entertaining. And I don't think Gilbert has the tool set. Styles make fights, but I don't see Gilbert beating him, because Gilbert's a really good wrestler and a really strong puncher. Kamaru Usman's bigger, a better wrestler, and his punching has improved to the point to where, yeah, you could be better than him, but you're not going to be so much better than him that you're just going to be able to dominate him on the feet. And that boy got a chin. So those were the fights I wanted to talk about. Listen, guys, this is Garage Goons podcast. Well, not podcast yet. It's YouTube only. But here's the thing, man. We're doing this shit. We're going to have merch. I'm getting microphones. I don't know how this audio is going to sound because it's all live right now. It probably sounds like trash. But I got lights coming in. I got audio coming in. I was tired of waiting. Let's get it. I'm doing this out of my garage. Obviously, we're keeping it ghetto, bro. Look at this. This is my garage. Dirty-ass garage, man. This is how we do it, man. This is how we do it. So, Garage Goons podcast. Subscribe. Like the comments. And guess what? We have a really special guest coming on. I'm waiting for the equipment for that because I don't want to do my boy dirty like that. But Jay Theo, at Jay Theo Music. Go find him on Instagram. Jay Theo. J-Theo. He's on Spotify, SoundCloud, all this stuff, man. Maybe not. No, he is on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartMusic, Pandora, whatever you mess with, he's on there. So give my boy some love, subscribe to his stuff, watch all his music videos. But we're going to be interviewing him. He's a really talented hip-hop artist from Southern California, 805 area, so we're going to check in with him, see what's up, see what's popping, see what kind of shows and content he's got coming out, what kind of events we're doing, what kind of projects he's got. So that's coming up. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be live. Once I get my equipment in, it's on and popping. You guys come here. It's going to be dope. I'm going to bring the homies through. We're going to talk about everything, man. Comedy, sports, dating, music, hip-hop, rock, movies. It's going to be an everything podcast. Hang out with your boy. Lose some brain cells. This is not, listen, we're smart dummies out here, man. Nobody's an expert, all right? So this is just hanging out with your boy in the garage, man. Follow me at your boy Tyler118 on Instagram, or don't, whatever. But like or unlike the video, I don't care, man. Leave a comment. Tell me I'm trash. Like I said, this is the most trash show on YouTube. Also, guys, just so you know, I had to shave for work because I had to do this test with a gas mask and I had to make a seal on my face and all this garbage. I'm never clean shaven, so don't get used to seeing this. I still feel so weird, but yeah, man, we got a lot of stuff coming up. I got my other buddy, Demario SB. He's gonna come through, another hip hop artist that's local. We got a lot of dudes coming through to do interviews. I'm gonna interview my girlfriend. That should be interesting, right? She's got really interesting life stories and things she's overcome that's really powerful. And just mess with me, man. We're gonna have merch. We're gonna make shirts. This stuff is only gonna get better. I got a dope ass background. I gotta mount this shit. Let me show you guys. This stuff's hard though. Look at this. Background, right? It's kind of trash. You can still see all my garage, so it doesn't really cover the whole background, but it's an old-timey gas station. I don't know. I kind of like it. Once I get good lighting in here, you guys are going to see this shit is going to be lit. Sorry, this is terrible camera etiquette. I'm off camera. I'm coming back, guys. Don't trip. But listen, guys, if you're tuning in, I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. Say what's up to your boy. Stay tuned. There's going to be a whole lot more content. Again, it's going to be loosely based around rock, hip-hop music, movies. I watch a lot of horror movies, so I'm thinking about doing a horror movie review. And the staple is going to be interviewing really interesting people, man. And, we're definitely going to talk UFC because either me or one of my buddies is always buying the fights, and that's a sport besides the NFL that I follow crazy. And the only reason I follow the NFL like that is because I do fantasy football, so I have to know all the players. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. We're out.